The Promise endeavors to educate about a period of recent history that is still unacknowledged by the Turkish government. That makes this film controversial from the first minute.
Yeah. It's a strange world, isn't it, where an atrocity like that can happen, where we've got all sorts of correspondence and proof of it. But I think it's the fear of that word genocide, isn't it? Because that kicks in the reparations. I'm no expert on it, but possibly these are reasons. And the birth of a nation. There was a lot of Turkish nationalism after the crumbling of the Ottoman Empire, and it can be embarrassing to admit of the atrocities, the absolute horror that occurred in order to create this nation state.
You are famous for dedicating to the roles, but also for your dedication to get the roles. What drove you to the part?
Well, you know what? Terry actually just sort of, arrived on my doorstep and was asking me to do it. So I didn't have to chase it, but I did have to enlighten myself and to do some research, and there was endless amounts. Terry, incredibly informed man about this, but then there was an awful lot of research, so many books. I couldn't even hope to read it all, documentaries as well. I would have loved to have been able to meet some survivors, but I've just had to watch them in documentaries. But it was the right thing, There was, you look at the genocides that have happened since, with the Ukraine, with the Holocaust, with Cambodia, with the Yazidis, and I was watching the Yazidis up the mountain being slaughtered and thinking, wow, 100 years later, and you look at the Armenians up the Musadag being slaughtered, this is still relevant.
What is the secret behind your acting method?
Oh man, I wish I knew.
Can you reveal something?
I don't really have it, I bet you if you talk with Oscar, I bet you, he's got a good answer for that, because he's like someone who he's a real proper actor. I know how to kind of play that guy, and then the next guy I play, but as a general acting thing, I don't have a clue.
Being Batman in the past, it's a bit being like being in a club, like Bond. Are you thinking of going back to these parts?
Well, it doesn't matter if I think about it. If no one else wants me to, it's not happening, other than me jumping about in a costume at my house, which happens regularly.
What is the meaning of The Promise?
Well, it was actually something I kept on saying to Terry all the time. I'd say, why are we calling this film The Promise? Well, look, essentially, it's within the context of the film, it's the promise that Mikhail, Oscar's character, makes to his betrothed, and that is something that he does not want to break. And then in the bigger picture, with the filmmakers, it's the promise not to forget, and to do everything they can not to allow this to ever happen again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.